Good evening. I will wait for a few people to enter the chat before I discuss the topic of the day. I know that this is impromptu and I won't have that much time with you all on this video, but I have some important information that's sort of a part two for a video that I did a few years ago by the name of Your Sexual Bank Account. So we are going to be talking about energy vampirism and the things that suck your energy, especially based on sexual energy or sensual creative energy. So let's see if anyone comes in. If not, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And how I always do my live streams is I do the lecture first, and then I'm open to, respectful questions, comments, and concerns. Good evening. Good evening to who all is watching. Good evening. How are you, Shantae, Berry Boo, for Top Notch Empress? Good evening. We're going to be talking about sexual energy vampires this evening, just a little bit. I don't have that much time with you all, but I'm going to do the lecture first and then get into it. Good evening, everyone. Wow, there's so many of you in here now. Uniquely Divine, Divine Sunshine 9, Brandon Spriggs, Takia 732, Twisted Hair Free Mind, Becca, good evening. So we're going to be talking about your negative sexual bank account balance. And after this video, after this live stream, once I put the title to it, I would invite you all to go back and look at my video from a few years ago called Your Sexual Bank Account. A lot of people are walking around thinking that they are cursed or jujued or their life is on hold when there are things that are actually sucking and zapping your energy. Because everything is energy. Sexual energy is energy in general. And when your energy is low, your manifestations are going to be lower or not as effective as they could be. So I repeat one more time, I'll answer questions, comments, concerns at the end of this video. We won't be long this evening. So this video, once again, is titled Negative Sexual Bank Account Balance. This is even more so important for those of you who have marine energy, water-based energy, and spirit guides, spiritualists. But this can go for anyone in general, especially women, but it can apply to men too. The first thing is, you must understand what you are and what you have. What is your element? Once you understand what your element is and what the codes are of that element, which is a totally different video going even deeper, and knowing what egg bay you belong to, that's very important. That will cancel out a lot of issues and sufferings that you have going on in your life. I always say that your life is like a movie, and your ancestors, guides, your soul group members that didn't incarnate with you, they are always watching and observing what you do. And a lot of the things we do and a lot of the people we end up fooling with ends up frustrating them to a certain degree, to where they end up frustrating situations in your life and holding certain things up until you leave Boo Boo alone, or Keisha alone, or whoever it is, Janie, whoever it is. So our associations and our friendships, though karmic and on our life schedule, when they are prolonged and they are zapping our energy in many different ways, it can be as if it were a curse, even though it's not a curse, it's a choice. So a lot of people are not cursed. They are under a choice that they can easily get themselves out of. The cage is not locked. They can easily walk away, but a lot of people have trouble walking away from karmic relationships and abusive relationships and things such as that, and it's zapping your manifestation energy. You're wondering, oh, I'm supposed to be making all this money. If I have marine energy, manifestation energy, why is my bank account not showing up like it's supposed to? Why are the things not flourishing like they are supposed to? Or if they do flourish, why does it not last like it's supposed to? Why are the children acting up? Why am I having so many different issues in different areas of my life? And a lot of it is because you're not understanding your energy, and you're not understanding your soul group and what their codes are, which we are supposed to forget when we reincarnate into this simulation, but it's up to us to find out. That's the ancestral way. We're supposed to know or be marked with who we are at the time of our birth, but we lost that knowledge. So we are in a state of chaos. in this day and age, to where knowing who you are and researching who you are and who your people were seems to be demonized and something that's negative when it was not ever meant to be negative. So energy is currency. I always talk about, just like I did in the sexual bank account video, money, moon, river, bank account, bank, river, river, currency. Everything is watery energy when it's coming to manifestation energy, wealth energy, and all of those things. And yes, you can come up in a deficit, which I will get into. So the first thing that can upset your manifestations, your money, your ashe, your power, and your all that good stuff. The first thing is living in a contempt of an environment where it's always contempt. If you live with somebody, whether you're living at home with your parents, a spouse, a roommate, etc., and those people get on your last nerves, not occasionally like people do, but I mean every day, to where you just can't stand the person. You don't trust the person. There is animosity in the environment. You always find yourself rolling your eyes or talking under your, doing all this and that. When you live in an environment like that, it's almost like putting a fish in a bowl of toxic waste. Eventually, it's gonna deplete your energy because you're always in that. If you're in an environment where you don't trust, your subconscious is picking up that you're in survival mode. So it's gonna keep giving you just enough to survive rather than more than enough to thrive. So when you understand your energy, you will work on removing yourself away from certain loved ones that are causing certain turmoils, or figuring out a certain way on how to either rectify the relationship, improve it if they are willing to, or getting some sort of respective distance, because it's gonna mess with your manifestations as long as you have to deal with a situation like that, especially when it's by choice. So if it's not like your parent or your own children or someone like that, if it's a lover, friendship, roommate, and you're gonna be in it, it's gonna take you down even further, because you really don't have a 100% obligation to that person besides a karmic obligation. And when that time is up, you must know when the time is up with that particular thing and relationship. So an environment of hostility and contempt is an energy vampire, an energy zapper to your ashe, your money, your energy, your flow, your currency, your bank account. Because I don't want to just make this about sex, but it affects how you enjoy sex. When you think of the word orgasm, it goes back to the word organic. Organ, it's energy, it's vibration. Everything is alive and moving. So when that energy is upset, you're not going to fully relax and enjoy yourself in certain environments that are unpleasant to you. And I'll always work for my notes, so excuse me for looking down so much. So when it comes to sexual attraction, somebody may be attracted to you and they may not even consciously know why they are attracted to you. Now, attracted to you and liking you and loving you are totally different things. A lot of masculine energy, a lot of men, they have foresight and discernment to know that there is something about you, the je ne sais quoi. And they may not necessarily want you for your beauty or your booty, but it's something about your energy that is attractive to them. And if it's given, if you give yourself either too much or too soon, he will begin to resent you, because on a higher level, his higher self, or even if he has demons, demonic energy, or entities that follow him, they're coming to you to get a hit off of that energy. It's not about how good your stuff is, because that's easy to find. It's not about how good you cook, or oh, you're a good person, he likes the way you keep the house clean, how you smell. It's about that energy hit. I had somebody that was working with me, and she was in a long-term relationship to where she's like, he acts like he doesn't even like me. He has other women. He'll come by, he'll take care of this and that, and then he's gone. He doesn't even hardly speak to me. He won't look me in my eyes. That's because it's not about her, it's about the energy. Even if that person insults you and say you're not all that you think you are, then that's telling you even more so it's about your energy. It's not even about how good the sexual encounter is. So keep that in mind. There are sexual energy vampires on both sides. with women and men, depending on your energy. There are vampires on both sides. So once again, your energy is your currency. The emotions of love, lust, passion, anger, all of that's energy. So you want to be careful who you circulate of that on, or who you spend that on. That's what I was talking about in the Black Magic video. All things aren't worth going and putting bad juju on somebody, because when you're giving them your anger, you are giving them your energy. Because what you may not understand is demonic forces that are puppeteering behind the scenes, operating in your enemies, they love when you get angry or get triggered with a response. They love that energy. They feed off of your anger. They feed off of your lust. They feed off of your hatred. And that's what grows and manifests, rather than what you want to grow and manifest in your life. Every time you are laying down to create sexually, you are creating some sort of energy, whether by accident or on purpose. So all of those particular actions will create a reaction in the spirit realm. So once again, it may not be that they like you, it's just your energy. When they don't want nothing to do with you, but they come back at 10 o'clock at night, those type of things, it's about an energetic hit rather than anything else. Something about laying with you is giving them your luck. And as I talked about in the sexual bank account balance video, I talked about when you are giving someone your energy, your water, your emotions, and you're pouring out of your cup, and they're not pouring anything back into you, they're not contributing anything of value in your life, you're gonna just keep giving and giving and giving, and then they're gonna take off with your stuff, and they're gonna catch your glory, and they're gonna attract other fish with your glory. Have you ever seen a situation where people are together and they break up, and that woman or whoever it is, they're heartbroken, but they end up looking better, they lose weight, they're glowing, they get everything back? That's because that person has left their life, because that trade has been made, so the energy is replenished. But when you give it and give it again, you'll see the dark circles under the eyes, you'll see you're not looking as good as you used to. So it's an energetic exchange. And just like I said in the sexual bank account video, sometimes women or even other men will want to sleep with who you're with to get your energy, so using them to get through to you, because that's manifestation energy, because there is strength in numbers. When there are numbers gathered to manifest a thing, manifesting financial currency, power, and things such as that, orgy-like situations, then the manifestation can be greater. So some people, they don't understand that on a conscious level, but their demons understand it, their entities understand it, but you must understand it and use discernment, because whoever you're laying with all of their energies, whether the energies are jinxed or lucky. You are picking up on all of that, and it's confusing your own energy currency. That's why some of your manifestations may not come out exactly the way you want them to. Another thing that can deplete your energy, your sexual bank account energy, and your energy in general, is baited arguments. People trying to reel you in and nitpick and criticize and find petty things against you. That goes back to what I was saying about the what was I gonna say about when you're in an environment of contempt, whether it's at work, personal life, that's going to deplete your energy, and it's going to create a cycle of being around those who don't wish you well and you don't wish them well, which can turn into a curse, because it becomes a thought form in your life that hinders what you want. So you can see two people together and they argue all the time, and they're making all this money. It's like it's never even been made, because they have so many expenses. It's like they never get to enjoy it. So what you get, it'll run through your hands quickly, or you won't make as much as you're supposed to make, or you won't have the experiences the way you're supposed to experience them. You could be on the grandest vacation in the world with the best rooms, the best tickets, first class flights, but you won't get to enjoy it, because that energy of contempt and always in baited arguments will zap your energy. It's not even good for your health to continue in environments such as that. Boundary violators. That's the next one that will zap your energy. People who don't respect your standards or your spiritual taboos or your way of life. Those who ridicule and say, oh, girl, we wasn't like that back in the day. You don't have to do that. That's something else that can zap your energy. When people bring their energy in your home, when they pop up whenever they get ready, when they don't want to take their shoes off when they walk into your house, when they don't understand why you don't eat fish anymore, whatever it is, when they don't understand your standards and they are violating your standards and you're going along to get along so you don't have to be alone, that will zap your energy. They're taking your energy and they're not giving you the spiritual respect that your Ori is wanting of you, because we all have a higher self and we all have a spirit team, and they are upsetting and confusing that spirit team to where you will have to take more spiritual baths, do more elbow work and all that other stuff to get your energy back on track, because it's always being disturbed by people that either they think they mean you well but they don't, but it still comes out as if they didn't mean you well. You understand what I'm saying? You can have people that really love you and think that they know what's best for you, and it still comes out as if they were an enemy, as if it was somebody who did have bad intentions for you. So it still comes out as the same result whether they love you or not. Sometimes love is not enough. You must surround yourself with people as much as possible that respect your standards, your boundaries, and your taboos, because that can cause you an issue with your higher self when you know what you're supposed to do and when you know what's best for you at that time. Let's see. And kind of piggybacking off of that, I want to say something about too much controversy. If you look at people that are always attracting controversy, like if you look at like Sister Wendy Williams, for instance, look at her condition now from all those years of making enemies and creating animosity for entertainment purposes. All that type of energy that ends up bouncing back, and it ends up causing a negative effect in the life, because it is a form of cursing to a degree, because you're always getting hit with evil eyes and people's evil intentions when you do that. That will zap your energy as well. You may be getting paid well to entertain people and be of shock value, but that's going to end up depleting you in some other ways in your life eventually. It does catch up. Let's see. Energy once again. Let's talk about another example of sexual energy and getting lucky by who you lay down with as a woman or a man. You can have somebody and you're dating them, you're having an affair with them, and they're married to somebody else, and you telling them you want them to leave their husband or their wife, and soon as they leave their husband or wife, their situation goes down. Their glory goes down. They can't afford to take you out to nice places anymore. You want to be careful of that, because sometimes the spouse that they're with is the one that's giving them their glory. They're feeding off the spouse and they're bringing you that spouse's energy. So you want to be careful and check spiritually before you pull somebody out of a relationship with somebody else, because sometimes that's where their luck and their glory can lie. And then when they leave that, it's like you don't see that anymore. Some people, especially some men, when they break up from a relationship, like I said, you'll get your glory back, you'll get your energy back, but they're still shining and looking good, because 9 times out of 10, a lot of times they have gone up under somebody else. So they have multiple bank accounts that they can hit up, if you understand what I mean. Energy bank accounts, that is, energetic bank accounts. So it's like they never missed a hit. But if you check them about, I would say between 50 or 60, then you start to see the results when those women aren't as attracted to them anymore, etc., depending on who they're with, if they're not taking care of themselves. There are exceptions, but that's just a prime example about, you can be dating somebody, you think they're hot, you think they're attractive, but as soon as they leave whoever else is feeding them, then that glory goes with them. So once again, who you lay down with is extremely important. Laying down with a jinxed person, a cursed person, all of that can make your stuff go down too. Maybe you started dating somebody or even hanging out with somebody, and things start to go down for you, or you start talking about things and it's almost like a flower just kind of, going bad fast. Things don't go as well, they don't flourish as well when you are in certain environments. So that's pretty much it. As far as energy vampires, please go back and look at the sexual bank account video to further understand what I mean and what I'm talking about. So really quickly, I can take some questions, comments, concerns, contributions as far as your experience with this situation with sexual energy vampires. Shalom, Melanated Queen. Ifaolo Orungaye, good evening, John Smith. But you got to toss the salad if you're though. Okay, let me not repeat that. Not attending a family member funeral can curse you. I say, for instance, if you just had a young child, Shekinah, and it's not really advised, if you know that child's destiny and it's not advised that you be around funerals, sometimes you can send your support in other ways, maybe donating to the repast food or sending flowers, sending your emotional support. There are times in your life, especially as a woman, where it's not the most auspicious to go to a funeral, but of course, if it's a parent or someone like that, God forbid, then yes, you can show up. But if it's a situation where you can kind of sidestep it, sometimes it's best to divine on it first and see if it's okay energetically. Good evening, everybody. Devon, the Divine Solar Child. I wrote a book. I'm an author now, a chosen one born into a cult. Coming soon, waiting on my publishing. I have copyrights. All right, awesome. Congratulations on your book publishing. Latricia Mayo, how do you figure out your codes in the tribe that you belong to? First of all, following your inner hunches and your intuition, first of all, because your Ori, your higher self, oversoul, is always speaking to you, and it will lead you in certain directions you're supposed to go. It's not always going about getting a reading from somebody and them telling you, this and that. That helps, that enhances it, but when you feel certain things and think, just pay attention to what goes right in your life. If certain things you do causes your life to either go backwards or stagnant, you want to re-examine that, and you want to check under the hood, metaphorically speaking, to see what's causing you issues. And if you can't figure out what it is, then it's time to go see if you can get a dafa or a divination with somebody to see what's going on. Let's see. SM, thank you for addressing this. I'm in the process of divorce and calling back my energy. Yes, call back your energy. It's very important because energy is everything. When you give your time to somebody, that's energy. When you make offerings to ancestors, that's energy. Everything is energy. Blood is life. Blood is energy related to Mars. So all of it's about keeping it at a good balance so that you can manifest what you want, because when the account balance is too low in your energy, things are not going to turn out the way you want. Let's see. What if a parent is an energy vampire? That happens quite often. As an adult, being able to get distance when you can will be very, very important. Loving from a distance. That's the easiest way. Calling every now and then, visiting every now and then, but limiting it to a few hours or so. That's the best way. Let's see. How can we cut off the cord of an energy vampire? The first thing is to, number one, get physical distance from that person. And then number two is to get mental distance from that person. What do I mean? You got to find a way to get that person off your mind if you're always thinking about them. Because always thinking about somebody and obsessing about somebody who you have a soul tie with, you're giving them your energy. So they're somewhere banking and doing well off of your energy because you are paying them your attention. It's a reason why they say paying attention, because you are paying them something, which is your energy, which can lift them up but lower you down at the same time. Let's see. I also have a video about cord cutting as well. I'll try to leave that. I'll post that in the community section this evening once we're done. Mixed yellow. Can the good energies I'm getting from her run out after years? Yes, absolutely. If you are with somebody and they're like a good luck charm for you, like laying down with that person, it brings you something of value and it runs out, 9 times out of 10, either you or something else in her life is depleting her energy, or something else in that person's life is depleting their energy. Another thing too that I didn't mention in my notes is ancestral conflict. Are your ancestors and your soul group members in a good accord with their ancestors and their soul group members? Because that can cause a lot of chaos and friction behind the scenes too, especially when y'all sitting there watching TV, for example, and then all of a sudden you just bust into an argument over something so stupid and it just makes no sense. It could be about something on TV and an argument just happens. A lot of that's energetic manipulation, like a remote control going on behind the scenes. So yes, all of that can drain a person. Let's see, Brittany B, yeah, I didn't go while I was pregnant, peace. Let's see. CJ, how do you refill your cup after being drained sexually? Abstinence, sexual transmutation. That's one of my favorite words, holding all that in. Sometimes when you want to manifest, it's not always about necessarily fasting from food, but sexual fasting and building up that energy within yourself. Or either if you are with yourself and there is, you know, a pleasurable moment, concentrating and focusing that energy on what you want and giving yourself the gift of orgasmic energy is a way to build that up and to get your energy back. And like I said, everything else I said in this video, getting distance from people and situations that drain you and that bait you into feelings of contempt, anger, hatred, revenge, regret, remorse, feeling indebted to somebody, all that's draining to a person's ashe. So you would refill by self-care in general. Let's see, Keon Asan, I dated a girl and people said I started to look old. Can a person suck up your youth? Absolutely. Yes, that can happen too. The reverse can happen. Who we lay down with and who we mix alchemy with is so extremely important to keep in mind. There's so many other ramifications for doing that. A person that does it often has to constantly cleanse the energy or find a way to get back to themselves. I would suggest a lot of Ori work, a lot of oversoul work to cleanse the energy and put it back into alignment. Yes. So who you lay with, yes, they can suck up a lot of things in your life. Hello, unknown. Hi, Bob Spitz. Yana J. More, how should I break soul tie? Check out my video. I'll put it in the community section after this because I talk about cord cutting exercises, which I won't get into now because I'm kind of more into my left brain as I do this video. So I'll put that in the community section if you'd like to watch that. If I were Mimo, good evening. Let's see. Diamond Lioness. Why does their other sexual partners become obsessed with you? Because they want your energy too. You know, it's an energy vampire thing. And it's a karmic soul group thing. There can be some sort of past life dynamics, even with your lover's other lover. It could be something there. Maybe you all want a polygamous relationship in the past life. It could be anything like that in the dynamics of the relationships. Ms. Rail 61, I was with an energy vampire. I really had cleared my space after he left, threw out the mattress and cut my locks too. I heard that. Absolutely. You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you have to take it to the extreme. How can you cut cords from a soulmate that is toxic but also in a cult? I kind of just addressed that a moment ago, talking about physical distance and mental distance, emotional distance. And sometimes it takes, it can take years to get over a person emotionally to where they're not on your mind anymore. But what you do is you fill it up with, you fill your life up with other good things and not let the other good things pass you by. And that will kind of distract you from thinking about that person all the time. When you have other good things that you are filling your life with rather than focusing on the void of them not being there, then that's the fastest way to get over them. Let's see. Awesome news. Congratulations. The Fat Muppet. Do Rastafarians practice magic in their religion? I would say probably more of alchemy more than anything else. They wouldn't call it magic. Of course, they wouldn't call it that, but everything is magic in its own degree. Let's see. Greetings, Maj Kali. Teachings on spiritual spouses. Yes, that's coming. I have a video coming about Iyalode women and the spiritual code of women and people with marine energy. There are codes to it. It goes so deep. Like you'll see some people, you know, they may be attracted, but you're like, why is that person always single or this or that? So I got a video coming about it. I have to really get into it because it's a lot. The codes of being a marine, or if you're an Egbe Iyalode, or if you're an Egbe Lyrical, those are soul groups, those are particular names for them. There are so many different codes as to how you marry, how long you stay married, all of that. So I have to get in that on another one. Let's see. Immortal Inanna, how do you call back your energy? Yes, I had addressed that previously. So as soon as this live is over, please rewind on that part where I addressed it. Let's see. How can we heal from narcissists? You know, I want to be honest about one thing. I think that this particular generation is overemphasize that word narcissist. Sometimes it's not narcissism. Sometimes it's just that a lot of people, many of us have been taught to give away too much. And then when we allow that person to siphon off of us as an energy vampire, or if you allow that person to siphon off of you much too long, and then it becomes a blame game and we have to take our power back and get away from those particular type of people. That's the best way I can say that. I hope you understand what I mean. So how can we heal from narcissists is by getting away from them and filling our energy up with our own energy, if you understand what I mean. Being a little more selfish or a little more self-preservation is the best word I can say. Practicing self-preservation and budgeting your energy, budgeting how much you give. Just because you like a person and you're attracted to a person, they're love bombing you, doesn't mean you have to just give them all your energy. And like I said in the sexual bank account video, you can give somebody so much of your energy. Emotions are water. You can drown them in your emotions. And then once you drown them, they're overwhelmed, so they're going to go get their next hit somewhere else. So it's important not to drown people with your emotions, balance and everything. Let's see. Suan Sung, how do you remove yourself from a spiritual guide who showed what seemed to be a bad face and you truly thought they were sincere towards you? You can renounce the relationship to a certain degree, but if they're your true spirit guide, then you will want to do some elevation work, or you want to get a divination to see what you can do to get distance from that particular entity. But your spirit guides are never supposed to be intimidating you or haunting you. So that makes me wonder if that's really your spirit guide, if you know what I mean, and what energy you're vibrating on. If you're vibrating high enough, if you have any negative spirit guides or ancestors who are trying to attach to you, or entities who are trying to attach to you, they can't stay attached to you long if you go up a level. Just like if you change in a friendship, eventually you and that friendship are going to fall apart. If you shift to another level, it will happen naturally. So there's a need to increase your energy and elevate your energy to where that entity won't even want to stay attached to you to begin with, unless they're going to come up with you and change. If they need elevation, excuse me. Currently pregnant, want to connect with pregnancy more spiritually. Berry Boo. I'm trying to understand your question. Currently pregnant, want to connect with pregnancy more spiritually. What do you mean, my love? One thing I'll say with pregnancy is be careful where you go or how late you stay out, who you let touch your head, who you let touch your stomach, and prepare to record that child's time of birth when they make it to this earth. Find a way for that child to get their destiny. If you can't do like Esentaye or Akosejaye, which is the destiny ceremony 3 days after they're born, then I would suggest just planning to know their birth time so you can at least know their birth chart, so that child can know who they are and you can know who they are and how to raise them in a tailor-made sort of way. Let's see. Good evening, Reza. Melanated Queen. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. She lost her daughter, and being around family and friends drained. Terrible. No more empathy. You have to get space. You have to get space from certain people. Just like I said in one of the other videos, sometimes we are not born for our family, but through our family. We don't always have to be up under people who drain us all the time. We're not obligated to do that after a certain point because it can cost us so much. Let's see. Eye of Ra, little brother. How does a twin flame affect your spiritual energy even though you're not together? Well, twin flames. if you want to say something such as a spiritual spouse, if they're not incarnated here, if they don't approve of what you're doing or who you're doing it with, they can cause interruptions in your life. They can stop you either from getting married, they can stop you from conceiving a child, they can break up your relationship, break up your marriage, make sure it doesn't work. So it just depends on how elevated or unelevated your spiritual double is. So that can make a big difference. As far as a twin flame who is here on this plane, if you cannot be with that person, then there's a way that you have to make good with who you do have available in your life more than anything else. Because a lot of times you won't end up with that person who's your twin flame. And I don't really get into that too much. Twin flames, even though I know that they're real and I talk about them, sometimes it's just not meant to be with that particular person in this incarnation, in this day and age, in this time, because the time is shifting. There's a big change, a big tumultuous change in mankind as we move to the next level of elevation. So all people won't end up with their twin flames in this lifetime, but your twin flame is always connected to you, if you will, or your spirit spouse. Let's see, more light shine. And when you hear me say the word spirit spouse, don't think of it from the Christian perspective that you have some invisible demon that's stopping you from getting married. I'm talking about your literal soul group member that's connected to you the tightest. Let's see. Tips on how to survive your first Saturn return. Brianna, good evening. Finish what you start. Think about what you want to plan for the next 8 years of your life, and realize that it's okay to sit down somewhere on the bench and observe more than anything else before acting. You want to think before acting more than anything else with Saturnian energy. Getting up early and keeping a routine, doing what you say you're going to do, all of that's very important when you're in your Saturn return energy. I actually wrote my first book during my Saturn return, so it can be a beautiful time period. I enjoyed it, but my Jupiter's conjunct Saturn too, so it just depends. But it's just a time to kind of take things more seriously, if you will. So yes. Good evening, Kim loves you. Thank you, my darling. Yes, so I need to get ready to go. Let's see. If I missed any of you all's comments, everyone, it was so many I can't hardly name. Oh, it's a bunch. I'm so sorry. I'll try to come back on here later on when I get a chance and talk to you all in the comment section. It's a busy month, but I'll do my best to do that this evening and this weekend. Please go and check out the sexual bank account video. It's about a 2-year-old video I did during the start of the pandemic, and also cord cutting, how to make a spiritual divorce with somebody you don't want to be connected to anymore because they're draining your energy. So I'll leave that in the comment section. And that's all I have for y'all. I apologize I couldn't address everybody's name and comment, but you all have a wonderful evening. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is, Daryl. Oh, thank you, Intuitive Mama Dre. But yeah, y'all know I be having to steal time to come on here and go live. It's not always easy. I have to wait till the house is quiet and all that good stuff. So yes, thank y'all for sitting with me this evening. I hope what I said made sense. I was trying to get it out fast enough. But if you have any more questions, comments, or concerns, just leave it in the comment section. And y'all have a wonderful evening. Talk to one another, connect with one another, and I will see y'all soon. Got to come back and talk about what it means to be an ELOD woman. And a lot of people not gonna like what I have to say about that, especially when it comes to marriage and accepting certain things about your love life and codes about how you have sex and how you procreate. There are rules to it when you're a Marina and when you're an ELOD. So I have that coming soon next, and I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Also, if y'all haven't registered for the Daughters of the Water Retreat or check out some of the sales on guidesandgoals.com, feel free to do that as well. All right, have a wonderful evening. Good night. Oh, and thank you. Let's see. Somebody sent a super chat. I can't tell who. I'm trying to press that button, but thank you for my super chat, darling. Mwah. Sending all that energy back to you multiplied. All right. Good night.